Hello friends, warm greetings from my side. This is Nataraja Nanjundaya. I am a practicing cost accountant, insolvency professional, registered valuer, securities or financial assets. Today I am going to be covering a session on prepackaged insolvency resolution process under IBC 2016. Just to talk about brief background, on 4th April 2021, there was an ordinance passed on PPIRP. The main objective of this ordinance was to introduce an efficient alternative insolvency resolution process for corporate persons classified as micro, small and medium enterprise. To simplify the process, I have divided the entire PPIRP process into 4 basic steps. Let's look at it. The first step is preparation. The second step is initiation and management of PPIRP. Third step is approval of resolution plan by COC and adjudicating authority. Fourth step, termination of PPIRP, initiation of CIRP or liquidation. If you have any questions after I complete this presentation, please feel free to keep in touch with me. You can ask for the presentation as well. If you can share the email ID, I will ensure that the presentation is sent across to you. PPIRP model timeline Gantt chart. I have tried to depict in the Gantt chart format the entire PPIRP model timeline. So let's look at it. So there are few major steps which I have tried to depict here. Public announcement has to be done within 2 days. Corporate debtor has to submit to resolution professional claims list, preliminary information memorandum and base resolution plan. Appointment of registered valuer has to be done within 3 days. Constitution of COC has to be done within 7 days. Submission of information memorandum to COC has to be done within 14 days. First meeting of COC has to be done within 14 days. Invite resolution plan if the base resolution plan is not approved by COC within 21 days. Forming opinion on avoidance transactions 30 days. Determination of avoidance transactions within 45 days. Application for avoidance transaction with adjudicating authority within 60 days. When I say avoidance transaction, here the forming opinion is on preferential transaction as well as any other transactions and avoidance transactions. Approval of resolution plan by COC by 90 days. Submission of resolution plan with adjudicating authority within 90 days. Approval of resolution plan by adjudicating authority or rejection of resolution plan by adjudicating authority within 120 days, which is the total timeline. Let's look at phase 1, pre-PPIRP application for PPIRP initiation. First of all, we need to be clear about the eligibility criteria for making the application. What is the eligibility criteria? There has to be 10 lakhs and above default, and the applicant has to be classified as MSME under section 7(1) of MSME Development Act. And applicant should not be going through any PPIRP or CIRP or liquidation currently, and in last 3 years applicant should not have gone through any PPIRP or CIRP, and the applicant has to be eligible under section 29A of the IBC code. Once we are clear about the eligibility, then we'll have to propose the insolvency professional's name who is going to act as resolution professional to carry out the PPIR. Proposal of IP's name, who is going to act as RP, has to be done by minimum 10% of unrelated financial creditors with minimum 10% of the value of the financial debt, along with the fee payable to the resolution professional, has to be finalized as per the regulation 14(6). And IP's name proposed has to be eligible as per regulation 7. Declaration has to be made by majority of the directors or partners confirming PPIRP would be initiated within 90 days, and PPIRP is initiated not to defraud any person, and along with proposed RP is approved by financial creditors. Special resolution passed with 3/4 majority of directors and partners approval. Base resolution plan is prepared to be presented with unrelated financial creditors for approval. Convene the meeting by serving at least 5 days notice, shorter time if agreed mutually. Approval of insolvency professional as RP and PPIRP initiation has to be done by voting of minimum 66% of unrelated financial creditors, along with the declaration, special resolution and base resolution plan. Once the application is approved by voting of 66% and above unrelated financial creditors, application has to be filed with adjudicating authority along with the documents annexures as prescribed in the form P11. Initiation and management of PPIRP. Once the application is made, adjudicating authority will admit the application or reject the application within 14 days of the date of application. Adjudicating authority, if rejecting the application, would give opportunity for the applicant to rectify if there is any defect within 7 days from the date of application. If the application is admitted, adjudicating authority will declare the moratorium as applicable as per section 14(3) of the code. Also appoint resolution professional if no disciplinary action is pending upon confirmation from IBBA. Corporate debtor is responsible to prepare the list of claims and preliminary information memorandum with all the relevant info required for preparing the resolution plan within 2 days after the commencement of PPIRP. During the PPIRP, management of corporate debtor vests with board of directors and partners. Board of directors or partners shall protect assets of the organization. Let's understand the resolution professional responsibilities in the context of PPIRP. RP has to prepare a report confirming that corporate debtor meets the requirement under section 54A. When we say 54A section, what it means, in the previous slide we understood what is the eligibility criteria to apply for the PPIRP. and also declaration is prepared, special resolution is prepared, and base resolution plan is prepared. So all these things has to be verified by resolution professional and confirm, and it meets with the required conditions under section 54A. Resolution professional has to monitor the management of the affairs of corporate debtor. Whenever there is any breach by board of directors or partners or management of the corporate debtor, resolution professional has to inform the committee of creditors. Resolution professional responsibilities to initiate the PPIRP, make public announcement within 3 days after the commencement of PPIRP, constitute committee of creditors, hold first meeting of committee of creditors, prepare information memorandum within 14 days based on preliminary information memorandum shared by corporate data, appoint 2 registered valuers within 3 days from the commencement of PPIRP. RP has to conduct frequent COC meetings as required. RP has to verify all the claims as provided by the corporate debtor, check with available records, inform each and every creditor about their claims and seek objections if any. Creditors will have opportunity to submit the objection within 7 days. RP can call for more evidences from the creditors when they submit the objections, and RP has to finalize the list of claims and make it available to all the relevant parties as per Regulation 20. Regulation 20 says that the list of creditors has to be published on the website of the corporate debtors, and it should be made available for the creditors for inspection, and it should be made available for the members of the corporate debtor. RP has to make his opinion within 30 days on any preferential transactions or other transactions, and report it to the adjudicating authority within 60 days. He has to identify within 30 days, make his opinion within 45 days, and file it with adjudicating authority within 60 days for relief. RP will have powers to access all the relevant records. All the persons associated with corporate debtor has to extend full cooperation. In case corporate debtors fails to manage the duties as per the regulation 50 with 66% of COC's approval, management of corporate debtor will vest with resolution professional. RP can make application accordingly with adjudicating authority, and if adjudicating authority finds it in line, can approve for the management of PPIRP, management of corporate debtor to vest with resolution professional. Let's look at phase 3, approval of resolution plan by COC and adjudicating authority. COC will approve the base resolution plan provided by corporate debtor if there is no impairment of claims to operational creditor. If base resolution plan does not provide for full payment to operational creditors, then there is an impairment. If there is an impairment, then corporate debtor has to dilute their shareholdings or voting rights. If COC rejects base resolution plan, resolution professional has to invite for prospective resolution plans which will compete with base resolution plan. Also, resolution professional has to provide the complete basis of evaluation and scoring criteria while calling for prospective resolution plans from the resolution applicants. Resolution applicant can submit the resolution plan as per the criteria provided within 15 days. Resolution professional to submit the resolution plan which conforms with the requirement under section 32. Resolution plan which fulfills the requirement as per 54K will be evaluated as per scoring prescribed in regulation 42, and it has to be significantly better than base resolution plan and compete with other plans as prescribed in regulation 48, which is Swiss challenge method. Basically here the complete scoring methodology is prescribed in regulation 42, and 54K prescribes the details of resolution plan. Form P11 also prescribes the complete format of resolution plan. Resolution plan has to fulfill all the criteria as per 54K and also 30 under section 32 of the code, and it will be evaluated as per the scoring prescribed in regulation 42, and if in case the resolution plan submitted by resolution applicant is not significantly better than base resolution plan, then base resolution plan will be approved. In case base resolution plan is not approved and the resolution plan submitted by the prospective resolution applicants is significantly better than base resolution plan, in that case, if there are more than one applicant who has submitted resolution plan, then scoring criteria will be applied and it will be evaluated as per the prescribed regulation 48, which is Swiss challenge method. In Swiss challenge method, each of the resolution plan has to compete with each other to make it better to ensure that it is more effective than the other. Once the resolution plan is finalized and approved with the majority of 66% voting by committee of creditors, then the distribution is based on the priority as prescribed under section 53(1) of the code. Once the resolution plan is approved, then RP will file the application with along with the resolution plan and along with the compliance certificate in Form P12 with the adjudicating authority. If COC doesn't approve the resolution plan, then resolution professional will file the application with adjudicating authority for termination of PPIRP. If adjudicating authority is satisfied with the resolution plan approved by COC, then within 30 days from the receipt of approved resolution plan, then adjudicating authority will consider the same for approval or rejection. This is the final stage, which is stage 4, which is termination of PPIRP or initiation of CIRP or initiation of liquidation. Let us see in what conditions we will have these scenarios. Termination of PPIRP. If COC doesn't approve the resolution plan within the prescribed 90 days, then adjudicating authority will terminate the PPIRP. If the COC doesn't approve the resolution plan within 90 days, then RP will apply with adjudicating authority for termination of PPIRP. And adjudicating authority might terminate the PPIRP. In case adjudicating authority is satisfied that the plan is not conforming with the requirement as per the code, which is section 54K4, 12 and 32, then adjudicating authority will advise for termination of PPIRP. Adjudicating authority in any case will provide for continuation of proceedings initiated on avoidance transactions under section 66 and 67A. PPIRP costs in case of termination of PPIRP has to be borne by corporate debtor. What are the scenarios where adjudicating authority will advise for liquidation? In case if the resolution plan doesn't provide for management changes where the management of PPIRP is vested with resolution professional, where the order is passed under section 54J for RP to take over the management of corporate debtor due to mismanagement or fraudulent transaction by board of directors or partners. In that scenario, the PPIRP has to provide for change of management because the management is already in the scope of mismanagement and fraudulent transactions. Hence, the management of PPIRP has been shifted to RP. In that case, PPIRP should ensure that there is a change in management. If there is no change in management in the PPIRP resolution plan proposed, in that case adjudicating authority will advise for liquidation and the entire PPIRP cost will be part of liquidation cost. What is the scenario where initiation CIRP will take place? any time during the PPIRP, if COC with 66% voting approves for CIRP, in that case CIRP can be initiated. Application can be filed for CIRP with adjudicating authority by RP. And adjudicating authority can admit the application for CIRP, and in case CIRP application is admitted, then the PPIRP commencement date will be the CIRP commencement date, and the entire time of PPIRP time will be part of the overall timeline of CIRP. Any proceedings with respect to avoidance transactions will continue in this case. Hope you have got fair bit of understanding of the entire prepackaged insolvency resolution process. I have tried to make it as short as possible and made it as simple as possible. If you want to understand more in detail, you could refer to the code and regulations, and I have also given the respective sections of the code and regulations on each of the slides, so you should be able to understand in detail wherever you have doubt. If you can go through the respective code and respective regulations, and in case if you have further clarifications on this subject, you can reach out to me. My numbers are here and my email ID is here. You can also drop a mail to me. I will share the entire presentation. I also have the detailed Gantt chart for the entire process of PPIRP, and I also have the complete checklist for PPIRP, which I have prepared completely in detail with reference to the code and regulations. I can share it with you and you can use it. As far as the Gantt chart is concerned, it is prepared in Excel, and you can actually use the Gantt chart format for your other purposes as well, for your PPIRP process or any other processes. You can easily apply the Gantt chart format. Thank you so much for your patient hearing. Hope you enjoyed the session. Stay safe, stay healthy.